When I first met Emily, I thought love would always feel like that first spark, wild, electric, and unstoppable. We met at a friend's rooftop gathering one summer night, both clutching plastic cups of cheap wine and laughing at how neither of us knew anyone else there. Within weeks, we were inseparable. Within 2 years, we were married. Back then, every look felt like a promise, every touch a reassurance. But promises, I've learned, can fray without anyone meaning for them to. By our 5th year together, life had quietly rearranged our priorities. Emily's work at the hospital often pulled her into 12-hour shifts, sometimes overnight. My own graphic design business kept me glued to my desk well past midnight. We still kissed goodbye every morning, still asked about each other's days, but more and more it felt like we were speaking in bullet points instead of full sentences. We loved each other, but there was a distance, a small, invisible crack that neither of us wanted to admit was there. That's when I met Claire. She came into my life through a local community art project I had volunteered for, a mural meant to brighten up the neglected wall of an old train station. Claire was the project coordinator, all bold colors and easy laughter. She had this way of making you feel like the most interesting person in the room, even if you were saying nothing remarkable at all. Our first conversation was about nothing. The weather, the stubborn paint that refused to stick to the wall, but I remember how I kept noticing the little details about her. The faint scar along her jawline, the habit she had of tapping her paintbrush against her palm when she was thinking. Details that lodged themselves in my mind long after I went home. At first, it was harmless. I told myself it was just nice to talk to someone who made me feel noticed. Claire would linger after our group wrapped for the day, leaning against the wall with a bottle of water, asking about my designs, my inspirations. She remembered small things I'd mentioned in passing, like the fact that I hated pineapple on pizza or that my favorite shade of blue wasn't sky but deep ocean. I didn't tell Emily much about her. Not because I thought there was anything to hide, at least, that's what I told myself, but because I knew it would invite questions I didn't want to answer. The weeks went on, and the mural grew taller, brighter. So did the hours Claire and I spent together. We started messaging in the evenings, sharing photos of half-finished sketches and little bits of our days. Her replies came quickly, and each one felt like a secret dropped into my hand. Emily noticed my phone lighting up more often, though she didn't say anything at first. I caught her looking at me across the dinner table, as if she was trying to read my thoughts. I'd smile, change the subject, and tell myself she was just tired from another long shift. One evening, after everyone else had packed up, Claire asked if I wanted to grab a drink. I hesitated, the kind of hesitation that happens when you know the answer you're about to give isn't the right one. But then she smiled, and the thought of going home to an empty apartment felt heavier than it should have. The bar was dimly lit, music low enough that our voices felt private. We talked about art, about travel, about how she'd once impulsively moved to Italy for a year just to see what life would do with her. Her leg brushed mine under the table, and I didn't move away. When I finally walked through our front door that night, Emily was sitting on the couch, laptop closed, eyes fixed on me. "Long day?" she asked. Her tone was light, but her gaze lingered a moment too long. I nodded, kissed her forehead, and mumbled something about the mural running late. She didn't push, but something had shifted. The messages from Claire kept coming. I kept replying, and in the quiet hours when Emily was asleep beside me, I found myself wondering when I had last felt this alive. I didn't know it then, but the choice I was making, small, silent, one reply at a time, was already steering me toward the night that would change everything.